Hey, Mike. I see you're not home yet. Where are you? Did you ditch work again and crash at your parents' place last night or something? You really should have called, you know. You still have a mountain of unpacked boxes threatening to topple over, and tomorrow's the move. Are you even going to make it in time? We might have to donate everything to charity just to get the landlord off our backs. You do realize that we have to be out of this apartment by tomorrow, right? I can't physically move a couch by myself, just so you know.
Yeah, I know. Don't start the lecture again.
Lecture? This isn't a lecture, Mike. This is reality crashing down on us. You keep saying you could handle it yourself, but with what magic trick?
Please, stop with the nagging for 2 seconds, would you? As long as we're out by tomorrow, the grumpy landlord doesn't care how it happens, right? Look, I got the whole day tomorrow, so don't get your blood pressure up about it. I'll take care of it. I plan on starting at the crack of dawn and being a packing machine until everything is out the door.
The moving guys are arriving at noon. You know that, right? Not exactly prime time for a leisurely packing session.
Really? I thought it was like 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. Did I miss another meeting about this?
We talked about this, Mike, like a dozen times. This isn't a surprise pop quiz. Are you sure that you could handle this, or are we going to be the ones apologizing to the movers for wasting their time?
Yeah, right. Well, then, okay, fine. I'll put an all-nighter tonight. Forget sleep. This packing gets done one way or another.
Yeah, sure. Easy for you to say from wherever you're hiding out. So just get home already. You could probably start on this mess this afternoon, considering you probably used your packing time to catch some Z's at your folks' place again, right?
Look, I'm juggling things too, you know? Will you just stop with the constant accusations and let me handle this? Jeez.
Yeah, whatever. Just get it done is all I'm saying. Because if we lose our deposit because of your procrastination, you'll be sleeping on the couch at your parents' place permanently. Hey, Mike, are you there? Nice of you to finally grace us with your presence after a night of packing. But seriously, where did you vanish to again? Like a ghost, flitting in and out whenever you please. Didn't we discuss the moving guys arrive any minute now? They haven't forgotten, have they? Don't tell me you did.
Huh? What are you on about? My stuff's all packed and prepped for the movers. They just gotta load it up, that's all. You just gotta be there to supervise, right? I don't need to be babysitting boxes.
Yeah, okay, no problem on that front. But a simple question, Mike. Where'd you run off to last night? Can't you even give your wife that courtesy?
Relax, I'm at my folks' place.
Excuse me? Again? Is that becoming your new hobby? Sneaking off to your parents' house whenever you feel like ditching your responsibilities here?
What's wrong with that? Am I some kind of prisoner now? Why the suspicion, Esther? You wouldn't lift a finger to help around here. That's why I have to shoulder this whole mess alone. Shouldn't there be a little more appreciation?
Hold on a second. What in the world are you even talking about? You never mentioned needing help out at your parents' place. Help out with what exactly?
Are you playing dumb now? The timing should be a dead giveaway. I thought you'd figure it out. Do I have to spell it out for you like a child? Man, I never realized.
Yeah, well, excuse me for being such a slow-witted wife, but communication is key, Mike. Last I checked, I'm not a mind reader.
It's your parents' stuff too, Esther. Their stuff needs packing, moving, the whole shebang. It takes time, and I have a mountain of boxes over here.
Wait, what?
Are you seriously this uncaring? Didn't even bother to lend a hand when I mentioned it? Your folks complain you never showed up once to help them pack and clean. Just the three of us there, busting a gut, while you...
Okay, Mike, can you slow down for a second? Because I have no clue what you're talking about. This whole parent stuff moving thing, It's the first I'm hearing of it.
Oh boy, here we go again. Let me paint you a picture, sweetheart. From this day forward, your precious in-laws will be residing with us in our brand new home. Their belongings are ready to roll when the wooers get here. Happy now?
Huh? Wait, what?
Okay, now that we've established that, make sure you're all smiles and sunshine when they arrive to unpack. They're not exactly thrilled with you right now, you know.
Stop right there, Mike. Living with us? This is the first I'm hearing about a cohabitation situation. Shouldn't we have, discussed this beforehand? The new house wasn't exactly built with an in-law suite in mind. That never came up.
Have you lost your marbles? Do I have to explain everything twice? If we build a new house, would it be obvious my folks would move in? It's common sense, Esther. And don't even think about arguing. This is happening.
Hold it a second, Mike. This is a major life decision. You can't just spring it on me like a birthday surprise. We should have talked and planned, maybe even redesigned the house to accommodate them properly. This is insane.
Please, don't give me all this crap. What's done is done. Leave it at that, would you?
Excuse me? You call all of this crap? Are you nuts? You're the one with the screw loose, Mike. Why the hell didn't you tell me this sooner?
Hey, Esther, you keep this up and I have no other choice but to divorce you. You don't want that, do you?
Divorce? You have to bring that up, huh?
Listen up, Esther. You want to stay married to me? Well, that's my top priority condition. My parents live with us. You don't like it, and it's bye-bye to you. Take it or leave it, Esther.
What's with you, Mike? It's as if you want a divorce. Hey, Mike, you came back to the apartment once, didn't you? Slipped in like a shadow when I wasn't looking. Just to leave this? The divorce papers, huh? Really? Is this your final answer, Mike? After all this time, after everything we've built together, this is how you choose to handle things?
Okay, you got them, huh? Looks like we're picking up right where we left off. If you just can't swallow the idea of living with my folks in the new house, well, I'm terribly sorry, Esther. But that leaves us with only one option. These papers, my dear, hold the key to our future. Sign them and walk away. Refuse, and we face the unthinkable, which is a divorce. You wouldn't want that, would you, Esther? Of course not, right? So be a good wife. Make the right choice. Live with us under the same roof as my folks. It's a simple proposition, really. Take it or leave it.
Do you even realize what you're saying, Mike? This is completely outrageous. You're basically handing me an ultimatum and calling it fair.
Outrageous? Where'd you get that idea? It's a perfectly reasonable proposition. We both get what we want. My folks get the comfort and care they deserve, and we get a brand new home to start fresh in. Seems like a win-win to me.
Win-win? Please, give me a break. This is about control, Mike, not some happy family reunion.
Come on, Esther. Don't be dramatic. I'm getting tired of this constant disobedience. Just had a chat with your soon-to-be housemates, by the way. They're not exactly thrilled with your unruly behavior lately. Let's just say rehabilitation is high on their agenda for you once we move in. Expect some changes, Esther. Drastic changes.
Unruly and rebellious, huh? Is that what they think of me? Newsflash, Mike. I'm not some disobedient child that needs to be rehabilitated.
Once the boxes are unpacked and the dust settles in that new house, that's when your real training begins. So buckle up, Esther. This is all for your own good, of course. Remember, if that fancy title of Mrs. Mike still holds any value to you, you'll obey our commands and act like a proper wife. Got it?
And if I said no, what then, Mike? What happens if I choose to defy your little master plan?
Like I said, divorce. Those papers are your way out, your escape hatch. But choose wisely, Esther. Because this time, I mean it.
Are you really thinking about throwing everything away over this, Mike? Over your parents? Is this 100% serious threat? Or are you just bluffing?
How many times do I have to repeat myself, Esther? That's why the divorce papers are sitting right there in your hand. This isn't a game. I mean what I say.
Well then, that changes everything, doesn't it? Let me think about it for a second. All right, I've made my decision. I'll sign the papers and submit them right now. Consider it done.
Wait, what? Hold on a second, Esther.
I said I'll sign the papers, Mike. This afternoon, City Hall. Clear enough for you?
Come on, Esther. Relax a little. It's Saturday today. City Hall is closed tighter than a drum. Looks like you're stuck with me for another night, huh? Don't tell me you were actually planning to follow through on that little bluff. You really think a fancy piece of paper would scare me away from your own life?
I'm not bluffing, Mike. And being stuck with you isn't exactly a thrilling prospect at this point.
Yeah, right. So what it's gonna be then? You're gonna threaten divorce every time I don't get my way? Because newsflash, Esther, that train has left the station. You want out? Fine, papers are right there. Sign them. But don't come crawling back to me when you realize the grass isn't greener on the other side.
The only thing green I see is the monster you've become, Mike. Forcing your parents on me, trying to turn me into some Stepford wife puppet in your precious new house. Don't you see how twisted this all is?
Look, I'm just trying to do what's best for everyone. My folks need a place to live. We have a brand new house. What's the problem? It all makes perfect sense to me.
Perfect sense, huh? In your world, maybe. But mine crumbled the moment you shoved the divorce papers in my hand.
Esther, come on. We can work this out. We always do. Just put the papers down and let's talk about this like rational adults. There has to be a compromise we can both agree on.
The only compromise I see is a clean break, Mike. A chance for us both to start fresh, away from the mess we've created. And maybe, just maybe, we could find some happiness on our own terms.
So, this is it then? No going back?
No going back, Mike. Goodbye.
Hey, Esther, are you there? Answer me, would ya? My folks and I just arrived at a new place, all excited for this fresh start. We even brought champagne to celebrate. But where the hell are you? Did you forget about our big move-in day? Don't tell me you got cold feet at the last minute.
What do you want, Mike? You're giving me a splitting headache just by being in the same vicinity.
Why the frosty reception? Don't you just say it? Don't you dare tell me you haven't gotten the place all decorated and ready for us. This was supposed to be a happy occasion, remember?
Are you sure you're right in front of the place, Mike? Is that the new house you're texting me from? The one you so desperately wanted your folks to move in with us?
Are you nuts? Of course we are. I told you it would be arriving just about the time the movers finish unloading our stuff. This is unbelievable. And what the hell is this new contraption on the door? Why'd you change the lock on the door? I can't get in with my key. What is this, Esther? Some kind of twisted game?
Yeah, well, I changed the locks because, frankly, Mike, I wasn't too keen on the idea of strangers wandering in and out of my new place. Seems perfectly reasonable, wouldn't you say?
You really have the nerve to shut out the owner from this own home? You're really pushing your luck, Esther. Don't make me do something we'll both regret. So I'm gonna have to bust that window in and get in that way. How'd you like that? A little taste of reality.
That's a terrible idea, Mike. Breaking and entering? Not exactly the best look for a new owner, is it? I mean, that's a one-way ticket to a nice orange jumpsuit and a guest spot on the local news. Wouldn't want that kind of publicity for your perfect family reunion, would we?
Excuse me? What did you just say? You really expect the police to arrest me for breaking into my own home? You've lost your marbles, Esther. Now open the damn door. Everyone knows that a married couple co-owns a property. You can't just shut me out. Where's your common sense gone? You're way dumber than I ever realized, Esther. You really need some serious discipline to get your act together.
Really? Mike, what are you talking about? We got divorced, remember? Doesn't that make me a single woman now? A free and independent one at that. Don't you keep forgetting that little detail?
Pardon me? You're not making any sense, Esther. This is my house. We built it together, remember? Where did this crazy talk about divorce come from?
Like I said, you remember the little fight we had about your parents moving in? The one where you practically shoved divorce papers in my hand?
Yeah, I know we argued. But that was just heat of the moment, right? You always work things out. Besides, it was Saturday. City Hall's closed tighter than a drum. You can't just conjure up a divorce out thin air.
Oh, but Mike, some things can happen even on a Saturday. Like a determined woman with a 24-hour online filing system at her fingertips.
Wait, 24-hour filing? No way. That's unheard of.
Apparently the world keeps turning even if you're stuck in your outdated ideas of how things work. Check their website, Mike. See for yourself.
You're right. They do accept forms. 24/7? This can't be happening. You already submitted them?
Consider it done, Mike. These divorce papers are officially swimming with the bureaucratic fishes. And as for this house, well, that's another story.
Those papers are not valid. I won't permit it. We built this house together. You can't just steal it from me.
Steal it? Funny you should say that. Remember when we got the mortgage? The bank wouldn't give it to you because you were, shall we say, unemployed. So, whose name is it under, Mike? Mine. Every single penny of that down payment came from my account, too. You contributed exactly 0. This house is mine, Mike. You're trespassing.
Yeah, well, that was... I was only trying to, establish some ground rules here. This is my house after all. We built it together, remember? And now you waltz in here and change the locks? Talk about a hostile takeover. You can't just shut me out like some unwanted visitor. Now that we are divorced, things are different. Sure, but that doesn't mean you can steal my property.
Are you still going on about that? Haven't we already covered this ground? This house may be where we plan to build a future together, but things changed, Mike. Big time.
Give me the keys to the house right now. We can sort this out like civilized adults.
Civilized adults, huh? Funny you should mention that. Because the last time I checked, civilized adults don't pressure their spouses into living with their parents under the same roof. And they certainly don't try and turn their wife into some sort of Stepford wife robot. Seems your definition of civilized needs a major overhaul, Mike.
Look, I was just trying to help my folks. They needed a place to live, and this house is more than big enough for all of us. What's the big deal?
The big deal, Mike, is that you completely disregarded my feelings and wishes. This house was supposed to be a fresh start for us, not some forced family commune. And as for the keys, well, let's just say they're currently residing in a safe place, far from your reach.
Fine. Keep the damn keys. But we really didn't have to go so far as divorce. Maybe we got a little hot-headed about all this. You know, all worked up about moving and being all busy and all. And why don't we just forget the whole thing? Let's call it a wash and start over. We can remarry, find a new place together, this time with clear boundaries. Of course. Let's relax and talk this over. There has to be a way to fix this mess.
Sorry, Mike, that ship has sailed. 3 years might not seem like much to you, but for me it feels like a lifetime wasted. We could have built something beautiful here. You were too busy clinging to the apron strings of what your parents wanted to see.
Why not? Look, I know I messed up. But 3 years is nothing in the grand scheme of things. Think of all the good times we had. Think of all the laughter that filled this very house. Don't you miss any of that, Esther? We can salvage this. I know we can. Just a little compromise. That's all I'm asking for. Friends and family would be shocked if we suddenly call it quits. Let's not give them that satisfaction, huh?
Compromise? You call springing your parents on me and then expecting me to jump through hoops for them a compromise? Spare me the sob story about your friends and family. They'll get over it. Besides, wouldn't they be more shocked to see me living with a grown man who expects his wife to be his mother's glorified maid?
Yeah, well, that whole situation with your mom, maybe I could have handled it differently. Look, I was just trying to help them out, you know. They needed a place to stay.
Oh, how noble of you, Mike. The knight in shining armor swooping in to save the damsel in distress. Except the damsel wasn't in distress, and the knight was more interested in playing video games than slaying dragons. You haven't even stepped foot in an unemployment office in months. Is that how you plan to help your folks? By leeching off of my hard-earned money and racking up credit card debt on my dime?
Oh, well, I just use it because, well, you know.
If you did some work around the house, I would have forgiven you for that. But you don't do a damn thing. I was just fed up with your antics. My pissed-off meter was raising to a boiling point when you brought up moving in with your parents to the new house. That totally did it. Then the divorce papers? Wow, I was practically foaming at the mouth at that point. Now who wouldn't choose divorce at that point, right? So, now here we are. I would appreciate if you take that furniture off my lawn and back into the truck off my property before I call the police.
Hey, come on, Esther, let's talk about this.
Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. Your stuff is still at the old apartment. Couldn't very well have you brought it into my house, right? So take care of it as you see fit.
Hold on a second. You left my stuff at the old place? But today's the day we have to move out.
What was I supposed to do if they brought it here? It would have been theft, that would have been a crime. I had no choice but to leave it all there. The landlord says as you get it out there by morning, he's fine with it. So you better get over there and retrieve it.
Hey, Esther, could we just live with you in this house for now? I mean, until we find another place?
Pardon me?
Yeah, it's just that we sold my parents' old place and we have nowhere else to go. So please, for one night at least.
I'm sorry, I would rather not have strangers living in my new house.
Please, Esther. That's going way too far. We were husband and wife just a few hours ago. How could you call me a stranger?
Sorry, I really can't.
Please, we've lived together for 3 years. What's one more night?
I said no means no. I hope you heard me loud and clear.
Come on, Esther. Don't be like this.
If you're still here in 5 minutes, I'm calling the cops.
Are you saying we're finished forever?
That's right. We're totally finished. You better hurry. I'm not kidding about calling the cops.
Please. Esther.
The word police really had an effect on them. They packed all the furniture back into the truck and they hurriedly disappeared. I didn't know his parents had sold their house. Guess they were hoping to live here for free and live off their savings or something. I heard they finally found a weekly rental place on the outskirts of town, but the money they got from the house was used to pay me back. All the money that Mike used from my savings without my knowledge. They still have enough to live on it, but came to light that Mike's mom had a huge debt to pay off also. Well, that left them with very little. Last I heard, the three of them were living in a tiny apartment, working day and night to make ends meet.